What's up guys, Alvaro here. Welcome to the Bilingual Stock Market channel again. On this channel we talk about the markets and we do it in English and Spanish as well, so you can pick your preferred language. And in this video, and as I do it Mondays through Thursdays, I want to make a quick stock market update, so I want to break down some technicals, going over the S&P 500 and the Nasdaq 100, which happen to be the most important indices of the United States stock market. And at the end of the video, I am going to break down from a technical standpoint as well 4 stocks that are going to be on the very top of my personal watch list in tomorrow's trading session. So without further ado, let's get started. And when we still have 21 more minutes in today's trading session, we are having finally, guys, at last, a decent red day in the market. So as of now, the Dow Jones is going down 0.60%. Nasdaq is going up actually, but not a lot. It is pretty much breaking even, up 0.16%, and the S&P 500 is going down 0.22%. So, and as I always do it, once I am editing the video, I am going to leave on your screens the final close of the 4 major indices of the United States stock market. Guys, important, for tomorrow's trading session at 2 p.m. we are going to have once again Mr. Jerome Powell, the chairman of the Federal Reserve, talking about the economy in general terms, because we're going to have the Fed minutes. Okay, that is going to be tomorrow at 2 p.m. exactly Eastern Standard Time. So watch out for that, because we could see some sort of volatility once Mr. Powell starts speaking. And today I'm talking about inflation and the general, situation of the economy. Let me show you something that really caught my eye today, and that is worth pointing out: the bond market, guys. So take a look at the 10-year treasury. We find the 10-year treasury yield, right? So we find the 10-year treasury yield as of now trading at 1.35%. And remember, guys, that this yield, the 10-year treasury yield, was like 1 month and a half ago or 2 months ago at almost 1.8%. So when the yield of the bonds drop, that implies that the bonds themselves are going up. So let me show you something. This is TLT, what I am showing you guys over here. So TLT is pretty much a long-term bond ETF, and this ETF has been on an absolute tear since a few days ago, and it actually went up today almost 1%. So how can we relate this behavior in the bond market with the stock market? So since bonds are a fixed income asset, guys, that implies that if the price of bonds are going up, that also implies obviously that we have a lot of people, and I mean when I say a lot of people, we have a lot of big hedge funds and investment firms and all that good stuff. So big money, in general terms, loading up on bonds. And who is going to buy a bond that, as I just said, is a fixed income asset if inflation is going to pick up? So why should I buy a bond that is going to yield, let's say 2%, 10 years out, if inflation is going to pick up to, I don't know, 5 or 6%? So this is a sign of the bond market relative to inflation. So the bond market is pretty much believing the speech of the Federal Reserve, when the Federal Reserve says that inflation is going to be transitory, and also that inflation isn't getting out of control. So this is very interesting, guys, and keep in mind that in an inflationary environment, growth-oriented stocks and tech stocks and higher multiple stocks get affected in a very negative way, because those stocks, I mean, just to set an example, guys, Tesla, Teladoc, or Zoom, those stocks are trading as of now in the stock market based on future earnings. And as we all know, whenever a government increases the interest rate, that's bad news for most of the sectors of the economy. All right, because everything gets more expensive, and when a government increases the interest rate, that's a tool in order to decrease the inflation. So these are good news for most of the stocks that we are trading. And let's hope, I mean, I'm not saying that we are quite yet out of the woods. We'll still need to wait for the CPI data that we are going to have in July, August, and maybe September. But as of now, the bond market is saying like, okay, Mr. Jerome Powell, you might be right about inflation. Inflation is going to be transitory and it isn't getting out of control. Therefore, we won't see a hike in the interest rate in at least, I don't know, 2 or 3 years. So this was very interesting today, and this was definitely worth being pointed out in today's video. And now let's go ahead and take a look at the S&P 500 when we still have 3 more minutes in today's trading session, and let's see what is going on over here. And by the way, guys, the S&P actually reached a new all-time high in today's trading session at 4,356 points. So let me zoom in here on the 4-hour, and the S&P is actually down as of now 0.20%, and it is trading at 4,343 points. And I am still waiting, guys, for a pullback down to 4,300 because the RSI on the 4-hour is chilling out a bit. We can see the RSI at 69 points, whereas this indicator was at almost 90 points on last Friday. So the fact that this index is pulling back a bit is a good sign from a technical standpoint. And let's see if tomorrow the S&P keeps on pulling back a bit and happens to pay a visit to 4,300. That would be very healthy for the S&P 500. If that level of support happens to be broken to the downside, then the next important area of support that I am going to be looking at is going to be at 4273, which acted as a lower support for the S&P back on June 28th, and it also acted as a resistance for this index back on June 24th, and that day it was actually a new all-time high for the S&P 500, as I just said, on June 24th. And from a resistance standpoint, guys, I mean, if the bulls tomorrow happen to pull up and take on 43.56, we are going to be once again in no man's land. And what are we looking at? I don't know, guys, 4,400? But let's hope, guys, that the S&P 500, as I have been saying in my most recent videos, to keep on pulling back and maybe paying a visit to 4,300, because this index was extremely overextended on last Friday. And when it comes to, now let's go ahead and take a look at the Nasdaq 100, and this index is, there goes a market. So the Nasdaq 100 closed up 0.40% at 14,786 points, and today we reached a new all-time high in the case of this index at 14,797 points. So let me zoom in here. And I mean, the Nasdaq 100 is still very overextended, guys. We can see the RSI at 82 points. So the RSI of this index didn't chill out, and today Amazon and Apple had a phenomenal day, and those index, have a very strong, a very heavy, I should say, weight in the Nasdaq 100. So we are still very overextended, and I am hoping, guys, that's it. I already told you that I get a bit nervous when I see both the S&P and the Nasdaq 100 pulling up like crazy. So I am still waiting for some sort of pullback of this index, potentially down to 14,577 points or 14,600 points. If this index happens to keep on going up tomorrow, then obviously, and from a resistance standpoint, I am going to be looking at 14,797 points, which is the new all-time high in the case of this index. But let's hope the Nasdaq 100 to take a rest, guys, because it is still very overextended, and as time passes by, it is getting further away from the moving averages on the 4-hour chart, and as I said before, that makes me very nervous. And now let's go ahead and take a look at AMC, which is a stock that I am pretty much breaking down in every single one of my videos. And today the bulls didn't manage, guys, to close above $52. Keep in mind that $52 is a very important area of previous support for AMC Entertainment that already acted as such on 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 occasions before. So since the support of $52 was broken to the downside, I think, guys, that the next important area of support for AMC is going to be at around $46. $46 is a previous area of support that already acted as such for this stock on 1, 2, and 3 occasions before. I still own 50 shares of AMC, and am I going to average down my position? I don't think so, guys. Because I think that if AMC happens to break the support at the lower support of $46, then we might see AMC paying a visit to maybe $38. That is going to be very negative for AMC from a technical standpoint. $38 or $37.50 already acted as a lower support for this stock back on June 3rd. So, and tomorrow, from a resistance standpoint, guys, I am going to be looking at $52, which is an area, a very important area of previous support that was broken to the downside, and that tomorrow is going to act as a resistance, no doubt about it. The RSI on the 4-hour is at 35 points, so AMC is about to enter into oversold territory. So I don't know, guys. I mean, this isn't looking any good. I mean, we can make the case that AMC is trading between the moving averages, but the fact that we broke a support that we hadn't broken in almost 15 trading sessions is not a good sign at all. So let's hope the bulls tomorrow reconquer $52 and keep on building up a momentum in order to take on $58 and then $65 per share. And I am not going to average down my position, guys. Because if I happen to average down my position, it's going to be at lower prices, maybe, yeah, $38 or maybe, I don't know, $30 per share. So I am going to be very, but very patient with AMC Entertainment. And now let's go ahead and take a look at Fubo TV. And in the case of Fubo, we had news this morning. I don't know if that's good news or bad news. But the fact of the matter is that the finance chief of the company is leaving the company, and I don't really know if that's the reason why this stock went down today, because Fubo went down today 3.16%, and it closed today's trading session at $29.11. And I am really looking forward, guys, to picking up some shares of Fubo. I would say 100 or 150 shares at $28. Take a look at the RSI on the 4-hour. It is at 29 points, so we can effectively make the case that this company is trading in oversold territory. And if I zoom in here, guys, on the 4-hour, take a look at, we could potentially see tomorrow the completion of a double bottom formation. And remember, guys, a double bottom formation is a bullish pattern that suggests that a downtrend is about to be reversed. And take a look at how $28, guys, is a previous area of support that already acted as such for Fubo on 1 and 2 occasions before, but it also acted as a resistance for the stock of this company back on November 23rd. And on top of that, guys, we have the proximity of the 180 SMA to $28. So in my opinion, guys, $28 is a buy in the case of Fubo TV, no doubt about it. If I happen to pick up some shares of Fubo at $28, then my price target is going to be the next foreseeable area of resistance for this stock at around $35, in which case I could be potentially locking in a profit of almost 7%. And take a look at how $35 already acted as a resistance for the stock of this company back on June 25th, and it also acted as a resistance back on March 16th. So watch out for Fubo, guys. I really like the setup that I am seeing over here. We have a very oversold stock. We have the 180 SMA getting closer to a very important area of previous support and resistance, and on top of that we have a possible double bottom formation about to be completed. And now let's go ahead and take a look at good old Hyln. ticker symbol HYLN. And in the case of Hyln, and for those who are not familiar with this company, this is a company that pretty much manufactures hybrid and electric powertrains for medium and heavy duty trucks. No, I gotta say that correctly, for Class A trucks, okay, for heavy duty trucks. And we got good news in regard to Hyln today, because the stock of this company was upgraded by Cantor Fitzgerald with a price target of $17. And guys, I actually own some shares of Hyln. This is a speculative position for me because I worked myself in the trucking industry. I worked for Rush Enterprises for almost 2 years. And guys, the business of making heavy duty trucks is absolutely pathetic. Most of the trucks that you guys see, all over the place, break down constantly, and the service of the companies that manufacture heavy duty trucks is horrible. They manufacture horrible trucks that are breaking down, constantly. So I wanted to have some sort of exposure, when it comes to the heavy duty truck industry. And I think that this company has a first chance of standing out when it comes to heavy duty trucks, and the powertrain, the electric powertrain that Hyln is working on pretty much works with compressed natural gas, which you can find all over the place. So that is pretty much what Hyln is doing, and obviously I am, investing in this company an amount of money that I am willing to lose because I understand the risks involved. But the medium and heavy duty truck industry is an absolute mess, guys, and I think that if Hyln happens to do things a bit good, they have a chance of starting to sell in a massive way their electric powertrain for heavy duty trucks. And when it comes to taking a trade with Hyln, guys, I think that, and let me zoom in here a bit, because I need to see Hyln, guys, slightly above $11. Or let me rephrase that. I want to see Hyln consolidating slightly above $11. $11 is a previous area of support that already acted as such for Hyln on 1 and 2 occasions before, but it also acted as a resistance by mid-April. And on top of that, at $11, we have the convergence of the 180 SMA on the 4-hour chart. So if I happen to pick up some shares of Hyln in order to take a swing trade at $11, then my price target is going to be the next important area of resistance for this stock at around $12.63. That's an area that has already acted as a resistance for Hyln on 1, 2, and 3 occasions before. So from $11 up to $12.63, I mean, this could also be a day trade. We are talking about a 16% profit. And if I wanted to set a more ambitious price target, guys, I could be looking at $15.56, guys, which would be the other important area of resistance for Hyln. If I happen to close a trade at $15.56, I could be potentially locking in a profit of almost 32%. And in the case of $15.51, that is a previous area of support that already acted as such for Hyln on 1, 2, 3, and 4 occasions before. So watch out for this stock, guys. It looks like it's consolidating slightly above $11. So if tomorrow or maybe on Wednesday I can still see Hyln trading slightly above $11 or slightly above $11, I am going to be tempted to pick up some shares in order to take either the day trade up to $12.70 or maybe a swing trade up to $15.60 in the case of Hyln. And now let's go ahead and take a look at the last stock of this video, which is going to be good old Coinbase. And in the case of Coinbase, guys, this stock went down today 2.21% and it closed today's trading session at $235.41. And let me show you this, guys, or before showing you what I want to show you, let me tell you guys straight up, if Coin happens to pay another visit to $220, which is a previous area of support that has acted as such on 1, 2, 3, and 4 occasions before I am going to buy this call option, the $220 call that expires on March 18th. And yes, I am going to be investing pretty much $5,000 in that call option. That's how bullish I am on crypto, guys. And why? Well, because if Coin happens to pay another visit to $218, that implies that Bitcoin is going to be paying a visit to the $29,000 or $30,000 as well, which so far has proven to be a very important area of lower support for Bitcoin. And I think that at some point in time, guys, I don't know if anytime soon, but I truly believe that before this year ends or by the end of this year, Bitcoin is going to be way higher than it is as of now. That's my hunch. So this is risky, guys. Obviously, I am going to be putting $5,000 on the table, but if I happen to be right, that call option is going to be way higher than $5,000 by the end of this year. So that's my next play when it comes to Coinbase. If any of you is interested in taking a trade on Coin, I think that $220 is a very compelling price, guys, in order to start either a day trade or maybe a swing trade on Coin. Because I already told you, this is a previous area of support that has already acted as such on 4 occasions before for the stock of this company. If any of you wants to take a trade on Coinbase, and remember that I am not a financial advisor, so you guys have to do your own research work and reach your own conclusions. The next important area of resistance for Coin is going to be at around $260, which is a previous area of resistance that already acted as such for Coin back on June 29th. So picking up shares of Coin at $218 and selling out of those shares at $260, you guys could be looking at a 15% profit. That's a very solid profit. In my case, guys, I am not going to start a swing position on Coin at $218 or $220. I am just going to buy the call option that I just showed you right away because I am very bullish on Bitcoin. And for the most part, everything that happens with Coinbase and with Ethereum and with Dogecoin is going to depend on whatever happens with Bitcoin. And I believe that Bitcoin is going to be at or above $40 sooner rather than later. That's my personal opinion in regard to Bitcoin. And with Coinbase, I am going to wrap up the video. Thank you very much for your attention and thank you very much for hanging out with me once again. Remember, guys, and keep in mind that here on the Bilingual Stock Market channel, we are posting these stock market update videos Mondays through Thursdays as soon as the market closes. So if you want to get all of the notifications of all of our videos in a timely manner, you have to be subscribed to the channel, but you also need to activate the notification bell right up there. Follow us on Instagram as well, guys, at Bilingual Stock Market. On our Instagram account, we are posting news and information on a daily basis, but most importantly, I am making call outs about the stocks that I am about to purchase throughout the trading session. So if you guys also want to have access to that information, go ahead and follow us on Instagram as well at Bilingual Stock Market. And remember that this is the Bilingual Stock Market channel, the YouTube channel in which we talk about the markets, but we do it in English and Spanish as well, so you can pick your preferred language. But most importantly, this is the YouTube channel in which we know that the wonderful world of Wall Street is not for geniuses, it is for entrepreneurs just like you guys and myself. My name is Alvaro, and I will see you guys tomorrow, 3 or 4 hours after the market closes. Peace out.